is App Talks. We talk about apps, but what would apps be if they weren't really amazing? It's the look, it's the feel, it's the consistency, and that means it's the creative. And I'm so excited because I haven't been able to actually pin down a person in creative just to talk about that. So this is great. Megan Evans, you are creative director at CMA, Consult My App. And may I just start by congratulating you as well? Because when I knew you before, you were not. And now you're a force. You have your own in-house creative department. So fantastic that you actually championed this and made this part of the company. They had you there all the time, but you were just illustrating stuff and doing stuff. And then came the moment, it's like, you know what? Creative is the killer app, right? It is the killer function of an app. How did you do that? Did you just go in there one day and say, hey guys, you know what? I am a creative person, and you definitely are because I've worked with you. We need to be doing this seriously.
Yeah, definitely. Well, I started off as just like the in-house kind of consultant, I would say, for apps like design and graphics and just helping them and advising them and giving them almost like creative briefs.
Yes.
But I kind of saw an opportunity here of like, hang on, like I could actually do this and build this out, because so many of our clients, their in-house teams are always so busy. Their creative teams are so busy, and I feel like that designing for actual apps, there's a specialism there. There's a nuance. You have to really understand what works and what doesn't, and it's different to doing campaign work and other work that they'll be doing and being busy with. So I just thought, why don't we offer out to do it for them and build out these assets and create it as an actual service arm, and not only doing it for like the App Store, but paid and socials, and then we've even then brought it around onto retention, so building emails, doing UX/UI audits, content and content strategy as well.
Interesting.
Because we design with content first as well. So I kind of spoke to Mike, our CEO, and said, I think there's a big opportunity here to grow out this area as a service within its own right, and we can help blend into all of the other services that we offer.
I applaud that, because you're absolutely right. Because we always talk about product and marketing. They have to be together. Product is marketing. Well, creative is marketing, and it's also part of the product, you know? And so you have the view into the app journey, and you understand what people are trying to put across in marketing, whether that's on the App Store or elsewhere in campaigns, retention as well. Very, very different from what marketing in-house at these app companies might be doing, which might be focused on UA, most likely.
Absolutely.
Or just, hey, new feature, or seasonality. They all go crazy with seasonality. Where do you focus then? What is your contribution? Is it more trying to be consistent with the brand, or do you think your superpower is like, hey, let's try this? Because sometimes throwing that wild card in there is not a bad idea.
Yeah, I think there's a balance between the two. So we want to make sure, because we underpin all the services, and we can end up doing the creative for all of those services from acquisition all the way through to retention. We do want to make sure there's a consistency there, and that the look and the feel and the messaging is consistent. But we do like to try and push the limits there and try and say, hey, what if you test this? Let's just try it. A/B test this, and let's try different things while still keeping their brand voice and look alive. So it's finding that balance and trying to kind of push some of those brands that are a little bit stuck in their ways sometimes, and maybe feel a bit scared of A/B testing, to kind of push the boundaries a little bit and really basically try and find the optimal creative that is going to push the needle for them, and really get users downloading their app and using their app and keep coming back.
Do you also find, because I talk with a lot of people in the industry, I mean hundreds in my career, and it comes across that people who built their apps love their apps, right? And they overthink, and they're overprotective. It's literally parents with children. It's like, no, you can't do this. And it's not even about brand integrity. It's just about even just trying something different when it's even just dead simple. Sometimes the coolest creatives, especially in video, we've seen it, they're simple. They're simple, they're straightforward, they're not overproduced. So where do you come in, and how do you convince them to sort of like see it a different way? Because they are going to be so invested in the app. They might not.
Yeah, it's like their little baby. It's their little baby. And I do understand it, like coming from being, like I headed up the rebrand of CMA. So sometimes when people want...
then you've done a fabulous job.
Sometimes when people want to touch the CMA brand, I get protective.
I know, I worked with you on layout once.
I'm literally terrible. Sometimes I really do have to step back, but I think being able to step in their shoes and understanding that from their perspective, because I do get it. Sometimes I'm like, oh, like I don't want to try this new like illustration or these new color. Yeah, exactly. Yes. I'm really funny about fonts, and everyone in the company that works with me will know that I'm strict with all of the branding. I mean, you have to be, but still, I can empathize with that feeling, but you have to just show that it works. So it's a show and tell situation. Like we've got case studies, we can prove it. We show the uplift. It's kind of like a let me prove it to you. Let me show you that we've done it before and we can do it for you. Yeah. And we kind of give like projections and what they could get from it and what they can gain and money that they can save by testing, like even the little bits of creative, like in-app events and stuff, like they can save money in the paid sector if they're optimizing their in-app events and having beautiful creatives there as well.
It must also be, when I'm talking to you, it must also be a little bit comforting as well, because you're not going to come in there like, the full dressed in black and be off the wall. You're very focused also on process. I think that's comforting at some level, because I'm not going to diss creatives at any point, but many of them are not. It's about trying to be new and different, and you're about being consistent, effective. What do you find is a continuous element? We talk about continuous personalization throughout the journey. We talk about these elements that really matter. What is it that companies need to be looking at if they want to be able to use what they have but reach people differently? Is it different elements, formats, colors? Where should they focus?
I think what they should focus on is so brand is important, and having a solid brand, that's key. Yeah. But they should, I think something that I've learned is not to be too like particular and meticulous about all creators having to be the same and look the same and feel the same. They really do need to focus on trying different things, but keeping the core brand message and values and look and feel alive. But as long as you've got a strong brand, you can drive performance.
Oh, there you go.
Literally, it's that. But you don't have to be worried like, oh, well, we're always yellow. It's like a yellow might be important, but you can try lots of different things as long as your core brand messaging and your look and feel is still there and you're known and trusted. So I think then that leads you on to being able to be experimental with your creatives.
And we are all experimenting with creative. I mean, you're sitting here and you're exuding confidence and you built this up. But I mean, I know a lot of people in the creative industry. In fact, I saw something on LinkedIn the other day, and it was like, we're all doomed. It was like, and it was a very captive post, because they'd taken the thing in LinkedIn where it shows the planes going up, and the planes were all nose down. So the whole idea was like creative is going to be different, but it doesn't have to be different. I mean, it doesn't have to be doom and gloom. You certainly aren't. So how are you getting along with your, shall I say, your co-creative partner, your, as they call them, Chatty G, right?
So here are you talking about AI and
our friend Chatty G.
I think I think you need to not fear it. Because it's inevitable, it's here, and it's getting better and better by the day.
It can help you though. I mean, I found it to be your superpower.
Every single one in my creative team uses it and loves it, and it just makes us more resourceful. Like instead of spending time on doing things that can be automated through AI, we're then now focusing on the parts of it that we love, which need the human brain and the human element. And that creative side, which is the bit that we love most always, then the likes of chat and and these draw AI things, they can help us. And like Figma is a huge platform that we love because it's collaborative. We can all go in there and work on assets together, and that's got AI in beta mode at the minute, and that's got a lot of automation things that's going to help us build some assets and help us do it faster.
Yeah.
But we don't need to fear it. It's not replacing us, or just yet anyway. But I just think, if you use it as a tool to help you, it is a superpower. Yeah, it is. Really is. Just learn it, I would say, and understand how to prompt it properly and understand how it can be super useful for you and help you work day to day.
Speaking of that, let's go back a little bit to your day to day. I mean, I'm just curious, what does that look like? How much of that is building and doing and creating, and how much of it is assisting and consulting? I mean, people are coming to you and saying, look, we don't have the bandwidth for this, but we want to do this, this, and that. And you're like, yeah, maybe you don't.
Yeah.
So you have to be like, you have to lead, but you also have to follow. So what does your day look like?
Yeah, I would say obviously we have a lot of different clients, so often my days look very different, and the morning is looking different to the afternoon because I'm working on several different clients at a time. I would say I'm at the minute more like strategically focused on what the testing looks like over the next few months, and then I'm helping my creative designers understand that strategy once our client might have approved it and stuff. So then they'll start building out those design and those assets, and I'll look and I'll check and I'll think, this is the direction that we wanted to go in. Sometimes I'll have a play around with it as well and be like, no, I feel like this particular image is looking better here, or these particular illustrations are looking better here, and I think it stands out better. We're doing a lot of research always on what's working well in the app stores and in TikTok and in Meta and all the ad space. I subscribe to loads of different emails to make sure I'm looking at all the different emails that are looking great. So it's a lot of competitor research as well for these clients and understanding really what other people are doing in the industry that's working and that's sticking, and then feeding that back to my team.
And it fits so well within CMA because when you think about it, it's about growth consulting, but it's also about growth through retention. It's about the journey, and to have creative as part of that, it really fits. And even for companies who think initially it's like, well, we have people in-house. I mean, do you get people who say, well, we've got then double the team here, don't we? Making them understand, helping them understand that both are essential.
Yeah. I always say I like to see it as an extension of their in-house team.
Yeah.
So we can work well with them and we can help them. We're not going to be stepping on their toes. We're not going to be changing their brand guidelines or anything like that. And the fact that we underpin all the services.
Yeah.
So we, from ASO to retention.
Yes.
We can join it together.
Yes.
So it is important that we know then what's going on in all of those areas if you're working for a whole sustainable growth package there. So yeah, I like to see us as an extension and that we can help them. They're always busy in-house design teams, as I said. So yeah, and we'll always check things over with them, and we can brainstorm, like see us as their friend, not their foe.
I like that. Yeah. I certainly would. And again, through that journey, that creative, that messaging, that is the linchpin that goes through here. So it helps actually to work with a company that sees that as well as the brand objectives, because they do tell you that when they engage with you. I'll be looking at some of the case studies because now I know you're there, Megan. I can bet they're, can I say it, kick-ass? Yeah. Because I know you. But I'm just curious, if you could talk about a case study that stands out for you, what would it be?
I've got two that come instantly to mind on different areas, but there was one that we did with Simba Sleep.
Okay.
And this was more in the paid sector. This is the first time we've ever done a TikTok only client. So I worked with my content strategist and we kind of did some script writing and then some UGC content for Simba Sleep app. Okay. And we kind of cast a wide, this is part of testing here, so we cast a wide net of lots of different USPs for Simba Sleep. Yeah. And then we figured what's going to stick here? So we put that all out, and then we found the ones that would stick and that would work best.
Okay.
And we got those ones that worked best and then iterated on top of those. Different UGC content, but in the same kind of remit, look and feel. And then that just skyrocketed and worked really well for us.
Because you never know what's going to be viral. I mean, at the end of the day, we are all irrational. So what you think is going to resonate,
exactly,
it's going to be the one that you didn't. You know, it's like the good and bad and ugly ads. I'm always, which was it? Was it A, B, or C that converted? And it's like,
sometimes
seriously?
It's the one that you don't want as well, which is difficult for brands to understand. It's like, oh, that's not really the best looking one that fits quite well with our brand language and look and feel. Well. And I'm like, it's the winner. Can be the winner 3 times over as well. You can try new things and it's still the winner. And that's what's converting.
Well, and they did.
Yeah.
It's in your case study, so it worked.
Yeah.
I'll end up with something, what shouldn't we experiment with? What is something that, because we're always hearing creatives, change them, A/B test. You never really reject a creative. And that depends on the KPIs you're looking at. What metrics are you looking at to decide a winner and a loser? So we know what we need to be doing. We need to be doing a ton of stuff. And then there are people like you going to help us out. So we're set. What shouldn't we be doing?
I would say what we shouldn't be doing is changing too much at the same time. So I would say it's mainly about incremental testing and doing things testing at a fast pace, but not too much at once. Otherwise, you're never going to understand exactly what it is that's moving the needle and converting for you. You don't know whether it's the copy, whether it's that you've used yellow or blue or a different image if you're doing all of that at once. It's good to do a big rehaul and a bit of a massive change every so often just to help fatigue and to change things up a bit. But I think, don't change too much at once and do incremental testing to really understand and hone in on those learnings and just get a bit more granular with it.
I like that. Being experimental, but being methodical. Sounds like you, Megan.
Absolutely, absolutely.
I mean, you certainly should know it. I was reading in your backstory, everyone is more than a title, right? First commission at the age of 14. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Wow.
It was a giant ceramic pumpkin watering can.
Oh, okay. I'm trying to visualize that. That's certainly
it was actually fully functional as well. But I was at an art exhibition. Someone's dad saw it and said, "I need it in my house."
There you go.
There you go.
There you go. And here you are running your own department there. I mean, onwards and upwards, Megan. Amazing. That is impressive. As woman to woman, keep doing it. You're on fire, girl.
Thank you.
Can I say?
Amazing.
Absolutely. Thanks so much.
Thank you.